Are you a chap, a dandy, a metro, or a gent? I'm going to go over all four categories to help you find out which one best represents you and your personality, as well as which one I feel best represents me. So don't go anywhere. I'm Bill Sweet and welcome to the Dad Bod. Over the years I've been called several things. The most common ones are a chap, a dandy, a metro, and a gentleman. I personally feel like all of them are meant as compliments. They're all intended to say, you dress nice. But each one of them means something slightly different. To best explain, I'm going to first compare a chap to a gentleman. A chap is basically just another way of saying a man or a guy, a bloke. It's most often heard said in the United Kingdom. A gentleman is a type of man. It's a man who is courteous, he's polite, he's respectful, he lives by a set of values. Now, if you ask 100 gentlemen what those values are, you're going to get 100 different lists, but some of the things that you'll find on each list are a gentleman never lies. Aside from a few white lies that are standard and mostly meant for children or to help people's feelings, such as, yes, Santa Claus is real. Yes, that drawing looks great. No, your hair looks amazing. This meatloaf tastes delicious. A gentleman knows anything worth having is worth working hard for, meaning a gentleman knows that you get what you give, and if you work hard, you earn what you have. And he takes pride in what he has. A gentleman never gossips. A gentleman is polite and courteous. He opens doors for people, gives up his seat for people, helps people reach the stuff at the grocery store on the higher up shelves. And a gentleman is always well presented and well mannered. They dress nice, they groom properly, they look their best. To be a gentleman isn't all about fashion. It's more of a way of life or a mindset. Whereas a chap is again just another word for a man. A man can be both a chap and a gentleman. A great example of a gentleman is Harry Hart, played by Colin Firth in The Kingsman, or Colin Firth himself, and most of the Alfreds from Batman, especially Sir Michael Caine and Sir Michael Caine himself. Now let's look at the differences between a dandy and a metro. A dandy grooms and dresses up to live, where a metro lives for dressing up and grooming. So a dandy is going to be nicely dressed, meticulously groomed. He knows about life, art, literature, travel. He's usually confident. He doesn't follow trends. He's more of a trendsetter. He has his style and he's confident in it. A metro is also meticulous in grooming and his attire, more often a little bit excessive, following current trends. Tends to wear more jewelry, will often try out several outfits before he goes out to ensure he's wearing the perfect outfit. They'll typically check themselves in every mirror possible to ensure that every hair is in place, every piece of their outfit is standing out. I recently read an article which said a metrosexual is a gay stereotype trapped in a straight cliche. A dandy will dress up to go out, while a metro will go out to show off how they're dressed up. Again, a dandy dresses up to live, while a metro lives to dress up. So Dave Navarro, Lenny Kravitz, Prince, they're all great examples of modern metros. Beau Brummel was the first dandy. Some other examples include John Krasinski and Harvey Specter, the character from Suits. There are similarities between the bunch. The two that are most similar would be the gentleman and the dandy. Both of them, dressing their best is expected. A dandy doesn't have the same rule sets as a gentleman has. They might give up their seat on a bus, or they might lift the newspaper higher to avoid seeing the woman standing. A gentleman learns about life and art and travel and literature to be more refined, whereas a dandy would do it to, either show off, have a few conversation starters, or just alleviate boredom. I usually try to keep my opinions out of educational videos, but I'm going to say something that may upset some people. I personally feel like 007 James Bond is a dandy as opposed to a gentleman. To me, he seems bored, and that's why the travel. He likes to show off, and that's why he knows about art and literature. So go ahead, let me know in the comments what you think he would be classified. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? As for me, I'd like to be able to call myself a gentleman, but I could be a bit rough around the edges. I love to travel, but I'm not really a fan of art, not the common definition of it. Museums and art galleries don't really do it for me, but put me in front of Big Ben or a nice city skyline, and I could stare at it for hours, taking in every corner, every window, every crease, every bit of the architectural beauty. Movies, that's another thing. That scene from the movie Swordfish where they showed the explosion with the ball bearings in the beginning and it was panning and circling around the ball bearings, that was absolutely fantastic. I could also be a bit absent-minded when I'm thinking about something. I could not only not notice a woman getting on a subway and standing right next to me or even right in front of me, but I'll quite possibly miss my stop in the next 10 if I'm lost enough in thought. In London a few weeks ago, I needed to go 6 stops. We ended up going over a dozen and hit the end of the line. So because of that, I would probably fall more into the dandy category. So what about you? Let me know in the comments. Also, check out this video right here for 10 of the most common style mistakes that most men make, and I'll see you there.